Good morning and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be sharing my full skincare routine with you. So we're going to go right into it. I start off by cleansing my face with the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. I don't use this every single day, but I do use it if I have worn a lot of oils and moisturizers to bed to wash everything off. Otherwise, honestly, most days I will just wash my face with water, and it is enough in the morning because I do a really great skincare routine at night, which you'll stay tuned for. That will be included in this video. Right now, I'm wearing the Aloe Vera Eye Mask Rayleigh Gel little pads, and these are amazing. I usually like to keep them on until they dry out, but this morning I'm in a little bit of a rush. So we're gonna take them off and pack in the excess serum. It has more than aloe vera in it, and it's really soothing for the skin and really hydrating, really great way to start off. And then I drag it down my neck and chest and hands. The next thing that I do is I pull out my vitamin C. This is the Dr. Altea Vitamin C Boosting Serum, and I love all of the Korean and Asian skincare especially. So this is our vitamin C. Vitamin C is essential for fading dark spots, and I'm someone with a lot of freckles. You might not be able to see from far away, but up close, I have a lot of little tiny freckles. Thanks to my mom. My mom has lots of freckles. So there's my vitamin C. Let me really massage it in here. Again, right now as I'm doing this, I am in a little bit of a rush as I'm filming today, but normally I rub it in. It will feel a little tiny bit sticky, and that's okay. The next step is my eye cream. This is the Beauty of Joseon eye cream, and I use this at night and in the day. And we take a little finger-sized amount, which I will also show you later, and pack it in there. And yes, I still do this on top of the under eye gels that I just used. I don't have super dark under eyes, but it's partly because I do this that I don't have any really dark under eyes. And then the next and final step is, this is a classic. This is the Olay Complete 15 SPF 15 Daily Moisturizer. I actually have to get a new one. I have been using this for probably 15 years on a daily basis, and I'm telling you, in terms of a daily moisturizer, this is the best because there's no scent. You got your SPF in it, and it really is moisturizing. My skin is normal to dry, and this is really perfect for me. And again, I drag it down. You do still have to wear sunscreen on top of this. Today is a very gloomy day. The sunscreen that I have been using is the Vivier Sheer SPF 30. This is a Canadian brand. It's a mineral broad spectrum UVA UVB sunscreen. And that is the last step that I apply to my skin. Everything's a little bit low because I really use the stuff. I really use this stuff. I'm only applying a little bit because I am going to be indoors. I'm not going to be near big windows, and the UV is very low, but you should still make sure that you have an SPF on every single day if you are concerned about dark spots, freckles, and anti-aging. And then the very last step is my Burt's Bees lip balm. So there we have it. That is my morning skincare routine. Now stay tuned for the next part of this video where I'm going to be sharing the treatments and the tools that I use before we move on to our nighttime part of the skincare routine. All right, so I'm going to share with you all of the things that I do in terms of treatments as well as body care. Please excuse the sound of the tree cutting going on in the background. This was the only time that I had to film this part of the video. So let's get into things that I do on a regular basis, starting with the face, and then we'll get into the body. On a regular basis, I use the Purity Made Simple Pore Extractor by Philosophy. I have used this for 10 years. One thing you're going to learn about me real quick whenever I talk about beauty is that I am brand loyal. If I like something, I will buy it forever. Forever until there's some sort of change in how it's made. I will continue buying the same products over and over again. And this is an exfoliating clay mask. I use this for 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes longer. I put this all over my face. I look like the Phantom of the Opera. Um, and I wear it until it dries out, and then I gently massage it with water. Sometimes I will also scrub it off for deeper exfoliation with a washcloth, a wet washcloth. But you want to have this on until it dries. And then afterwards, the skin looks a lot brighter, feels a lot smoother. There has been a lot of debate in modern times over skincare with exfoliation of the skin. I am a big believer in a clay mask. I'm a big believer in ancient beauty secrets. In ancient times, clay masks were used. My ancestors were using the Dead Sea mud. If I can actually get my hands on some Dead Sea products, I would love that. That's actually something that's not currently in this skincare routine that I have used many times in the past. But any sort of clay mask, any sort of mud mask, I am a fan of. This I do once a week. Then, also on a weekly basis, I use this tool. It is a microneedling tool. I'll take it out of the shell here. And it looks like that. It has little tiny, not quite needles. You do have to be careful with this, but it is esthetician approved. My esthetician did approve of this. And what you do is you put light pressure and you go along the forehead like this, up and down. Then you go underneath and then around the mouth lines. I could attach this mic, but I'm going to hold it. And go up around the mouth lines and then around the chin. And that's it. So light pressure. The face gets kind of red after doing this because you're promoting circulation. It brings the blood all to the face. This smooths out lines. So fine lines and wrinkles, which you can see I have very little of. That is not to do with my age. That is to do with proper skincare, hydration, and management of stress levels. Aging is just a matter of managing those things. Keep that in mind because there are plenty of people my age who have deep lines on their forehead. I will also add that I have never done any sort of fillers or Botox, no injectables at all. The only treatment that I have ever had in terms of needles to the face is acupuncture, cosmetic acupuncture, which I am a very big believer in. I love acupuncture, hence my beautiful ring that makes me think of Chinese medicine, the Taoist symbol for yin and yang. Um, that's really wonderful for facial balancing. I have only ever done it once, but they do recommend that you do it on a regular basis. I think it just depends on the goals of what you're doing with your face. For me, I would like to do it at least on a quarterly basis, as well as professional facials, which sometimes it's a combination of both. But for now, the microneedling at home with this little tool has been really great. After I've used my little microneedling tool, again, only once a week, and I don't do this on the same night. This is not on the same night, and it is always at night because you want to make sure that you are not walking around with a puffy red face. But if you do wake up with a red puffy face at any time, or you just want to do this after using the micro needling tool, I love an ice roller. I'm not going to put this on my face right now because I do have some makeup on, but this is great. I keep it in a Ziploc bag and then put it in the freezer just so that it's kind of separate from everything else. And that is actually my biggest secret, my biggest secret that I have used for hydrated, bright skin, especially if I have to wake up early, especially in the days where I was modeling and acting and would have to be on set at like 5 in the morning, I would use either an actual ice cube or an ice roller, and it depuffed. It gets rid of acne. If you wake up with a blemish, a pimple, a little something, it gets rid of it. And it also feels really nice. It's really soothing, calming, and great for the mind and not just for the skin. So, my next two tools is my jade roller. And the jade roller, same thing. You want to do it the same way that you would with the microderma needle or whatever it's called, derma roller. And I like to also go along the clavicle to around the chest, and I also like a gua sha. I will be honest though, as I'm going to show you in my nighttime skincare routine, I am a big believer in just using your hands and putting a lot of pressure on and massaging your face according to buccal fat massage techniques. And sometimes I will even put my fingers in my mouth, take a thumb into my cheek, other finger, index finger on the cheek, so one inside, one outside, and you massage along, and that fades the mouth lines. I used to have very strong nasolabial folds a little over 2 years ago from a lot of stress and TMJ issues, and from regular massage, specifically with my hands. But then also sometimes with the gua sha or the jade roller, I have minimized that. Now, keep in mind it is genetic. And if I look at my grandmother, who is beautiful and I look quite a lot alike, it's a genetic thing. It's a genetic makeup. It's our skeleton. It's our face, right? But that does help to fade it. So when you use a derma roller, it's best to put a serum on. I usually use the hyaluronic acid by The Ordinary. And what I like about this is that it's pretty inexpensive. So I put that on, derma roller, and then I usually like to use the ice roller right afterwards, or a cube of ice. And lastly, one of the things that I love to do for my face is use the Biodance Bio Collagen Real Deep Mask. I use this depending on what my skincare goals are. So if I have a very dry face, for example, um, I find especially in the fall time is when my skin is the driest. I will use this on a weekly basis. Otherwise, I'll use it a little bit less often, but this can be put on for at least 3 hours, or you can wear it overnight as long as you're not one of those people who tosses and turns a lot in your sleep and it ends up on the ground. But the best way to avoid that happening is to have it on for 3 hours so that it can dry and really adhere to your face, and then the deeper levels of moisture can happen. That way it's on, it'll do the work overnight, and you wake up and you peel it off and you're fresh. And this is really, really wonderful. In terms of collagen, I like to put it on topically with this, and I also consume collagen on a regular basis. I will insert a picture here of what I put into my drink or yogurt on a regular daily basis. It's a matcha collagen powder that I like to either have as an iced matcha drink. I don't love a hot matcha. That's why usually I will put it into a yogurt, and it'll taste a little bit like a matcha green, um, a matcha ice cream, basically. And that way, you're consuming your collagen. You do want to make sure that you're consuming collagen more than putting it on topically. And that is extremely key in terms of anti aging, not just in terms of your skin, but also your hair, your nails, your bones, joint health. So, collagen is something that you need to look into if you don't already have it in your routine. Okay, so let's move on to body care. So, at least a couple nights a week, I like to use my dry brush. Dry brushing is also really great for the lymphatic system, and you really want to make sure that you are supporting and activating your lymphatic system on a daily basis. But in terms of what this does for your skin is that it helps promote circulation and exfoliation and gets rid of dry skin. So I do this probably not as often as I need to, but I aim for at least twice a week, 2 to 3, sometimes more if I'm going to be really vigilant. We do this before the shower, always at night. Maybe some people do it in the day. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But for me, I just like to take my time and make it a part of my nighttime routine. So 2 or 3 times a week before I get in the shower. Then, before I get in the shower, I will not always, but again, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, put on some coconut oil all over my body, everywhere. And I mean everywhere. And this is just an organic coconut oil. So I put this on all over. So I like to use these wood tools. So this first one looks like this, kind of like a pin roller, like you're going to roll out dough. I'll show you how this works. So you take it, and I'll stand up, and you would go up and down your belly, maybe a little bit on the sides, but just the stomach, and that helps to break down some excess fat cells, bloating, things like that. I don't want to get too much into all of the details. I will leave it below, and then you can do your own research just in case there's anything that pops up as I don't know, in case the information changes, but I like it. I like it in terms of debloating. You can also use this on the back of your thighs. Like that. And then I use this tool, which is also good for sculpting. And then up the legs, and especially the thighs. And this is really good in terms of massaging because I am a yoga, barre, and Pilates teacher, and I teach a lot of classes. I teach anywhere between 40 to 60 classes a month. My body is achy, and even though I do go for regular cranial sacral therapy massages, and I also go for lymphatic drainage massages every now and then, I need regular massage. So that is a great tool for relieving some of the tension from the calves, especially, and the thighs. So I do that before I get into the shower. Sometimes I will add essential oils. It just depends on what I'm feeling. And then I get in the shower and I have KP. So keratosis pilaris, it's like these little bumps on your skin. And what I have been doing to eliminate that is I get in the shower and I use the CeraVe SA cleanser developed with a dermatologist, so you know it's good. And this gently cleanses and exfoliates while maintaining the skin's moisture barrier with ceramides and salicylic acid, aka SA. So this has been wonderful. You can use it on your face and your body. There used to be a body wash version of this, but it's the same thing. It's just a different bottle. So this has been wonderful. I mainly have it on my arms and the back of my legs. At this point, I have practically nothing because I've been treating it like this. So I use that first, and then I use my scrub. This is only a couple times a week. You can tell I use it. This is the Tree Hut Shea Sugar Scrub Exfoliant with Moroccan Rose and shea butter, naturally. I love the scent of this. It smells so good. I know everyone's crazy about the vanilla one. I've tried the vanilla one, and I do like vanilla. It's not my favorite. This is definitely my favorite. And I like a little bit of rose in my routine somewhere for so many reasons. But the main reason is that rose is very calming and nourishing for the skin, and it aligns you with your divine femininity. So after that, I use my body wash, and this has been the game changer. Okay. So in terms of scent, everything that I have shared with you is scent free. That is the only thing that does have scent in it, is the scrub. So to eliminate any irritation from the scent, even though that's pretty much all natural, I use the Aveeno Skin Relief Body Wash. Itchy dry skin, gently cleanses and relieves itchy dry skin, fragrance free. And this is also dermatologist recommended. And like I said, I only use a scrub a couple times a week. It's not a regular basis thing. There's also not tons of product in that jar, which is why you want to use it sparingly. You don't want to be using it every single day. And you don't necessarily want to be using the SA cleanser every single day either. This is just a treatment for the keratosis pilaris. Same thing with the dry brush. Same thing with the wood tools. I don't use those things every day. But when I am showering on a daily basis, and I shower at least once a day, sometimes twice, or even 3 times, depending on how much I'm moving, I always use this. This is tried and true. It, like I said, it doesn't have a scent, but if it says it's scent free, but I kind of feel like it smells, this is sort of funny, but it kind of smells like pop to me. I don't know why it smells like pop. I don't know. But I like it. It's very light. And then finally, when we get out of the shower, I like to use the CeraVe body lotion, the SA body lotion, renewing SA cream. This stuff is thick. She is thick, and there's a lot in there, and it does take me a long time to get through it, which I love. I love a product that's going to last me for months and months. I also do like a jar. I like a jar typically more than I like a pump, just because I get to really decide how much I want to use. That's what I like about that. And then I use this cocoa shea butter, and this is probably the only thing, again, that really has a scent. This has more than cocoa shea butter in it. It also has olive oil and safflower oil. There's a little bit of almond oil in it. I'm just reading the back where the ingredients are. And I have to get a new one because I love it that much. It is very thick. You're going to see there's nothing in here. But it is very thick. You have to really like scoop it up, and then it kind of melts against the skin. This is really great in terms of the skin's elasticity. So promoting the skin's elasticity. If you have, I want to call it tiger stripes because that's the way that I view them. But if you have stretch marks or cellulite, that is the best thing that you can possibly do for fading that. The other thing that I don't have right here is castor oil. So I'll put castor oil on my belly. It's not so much in terms of skin, it's actually more internal that I'll use it to debloat, to promote hormonal health, healthy hormones. And then I will take cellophane or cling wrap, whatever you want to call it, plastic wrap, and wrap that around me, and combine those two, the shea butter and the castor oil. I really like to use the shea butter on my chest, because it is so nourishing. Again, really great in terms of skin elasticity, anti-aging, and around the hips and thighs and belly. Those are the areas that stretch and change the most when you're a woman. So those are the spots that I like to apply them to. And then the other thing that I do in terms of supporting the KP is I sometimes will use the My Ingredients glycolic acid AHA toner. This is only every now and then. It's gentle exfoliation, but it will sting, especially if I use this along with the exfoliating scrub and the dry brushing, plus the SA stuff, the SA cleanser and the cream. If I do all of that after I've shaved, I will be stinging. So if you don't mind that feeling, it's fine to do it. But otherwise, I recommend putting this on before you get in the shower. Let it sit and be dry for at least, I would say, 15 minutes. If you can put it on for longer, that would be better. And then go through your shower routine. This can be used on your face as well. This is great also for underarms if you want to fade dark underarms. I have laser hair removal pretty much everywhere, And laser hair removal has been wonderful in terms of body care, I must say. I only use a razor every now and then, and I don't use any sort of creams other than the coconut oil, and that's it. So lastly, in terms of hands and feet, I just use Vaseline and put socks on overnight, and that's how my hands and feet are always soft and smooth. So before we move on to talking about my nighttime skin routine and walking you through that, I will share what I do in terms of scent. So I like to use the Dove 0% aluminum deodorant. I have used all sorts of natural deodorants. I find that this is the best option for me as someone that sometimes teaches hot yoga or even hot Pilates, or takes it. It says 48-hour protection. It's not if you're doing that. It's 24 at the very least. And I recommend doing this at night. Always put your deodorant on at night. If you have to reapply. This is the coconut and pink jasmine scent. It's nice. It's light. I don't mind it. I don't sweat very much. That's actually a side effect of doing the laser hair removal for so many years, is that I actually don't sweat as much, which isn't always the case, but it was the case for me. It was a really great investment that way. And deodorant is really not very healthy for you, so it's best to keep it to a minimum and only wear it when you absolutely must. Which is basically anytime that you're around other people, it is a must. If you're on your own, who cares? If you're around other people or you're doing any sort of activities, even just around the house, please put on deodorant. In terms of scent, so for a long time, my favorite scent was Vanilla Woods by the Seven Virtues. What I like about this particular brand is that it is all essential oils. It's not that strong alcoholic parfum scent that is long lasting typically. This is still long lasting without the alcohol side effect. So if you're someone who has detoxed from a lot of toxic chemicals and products, this brand is amazing. They have a lot more scents, but this is a go-to for me. But currently, I have been wearing the combination of the Amber Vanilla and Violet Amber by Laline, which is also natural. This is a body mist. I love Laline. They're great for not only your body, but also home scents. I have this in a diffuser, and it's amazing. So those are the two that I like to wear. And then I also like to use my Heritage Store Rose Water and Glycerin Hydrating Facial Mist. I will set my makeup with this. I might also do it before I use makeup. I might also just use it whenever I feel like it. Sometimes I might bring it to a class of mine and spray one of my clients if they like it. And that is what I do in terms of scent. So let's move on to my nighttime skincare routine. Starting off with my Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. I've already done this. And Cetaphil is dermatologist recommended. It has no scent to it, which is really important in skincare. We never want to use any fragrances because it does dry out the skin. For step 2, I'm using this cucumber and aloe vera witch hazel toner. And this is actually very light on the skin, but with toners, you got to be careful because you do want to work with your specific skin type. So I use this right after I cleanse and have removed my makeup. And to remove my makeup, I use a micellar water. And all micellar waters, in my opinion, are pretty much the same. They're all essentially the same ingredients. The only difference is the size. So we wipe this on after I've washed my face and removed my makeup. And this helps. And what it does is it improves your skin texture and reduces any kind of oily skin and basically tightens and tones it up. Toning meaning like it's not going to be oily, it's not going to be greasy. For step number 3, we're going to do some lip care. So I like to use my Burt's Bee lip balm. This is really moisturizing, or Vaseline, one or the other. The Vaseline is especially great if you have really dry and cracked lips, but I find this lip balm does the trick as well. For our next step, I use a lash and brow serum, and the best thing that you can do for the actual health of your eyes and eyelashes is to use castor oil. There are tons of lash serums on the market, but a lot of them have had unfortunate lawsuits happen where people's eye colors have changed and damage has occurred. I like to go natural and use castor oil, and I use a little spoolie and I dip this in. It's already been dipped, and then I just brush this on my brows and I brush this on my lashes. And as you can see, my lashes are pretty long, pretty dark, and pretty thick. After that, we do some eye cream, and I like to use the Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Serum, Ginseng, and Retinol, and this has been incredible. It's creamy yet light. I take a really, really small amount onto my finger and pack it on underneath the lid. And then I like to seal it in with Vaseline, and what this does is it basically protects the skin, especially because the skin around the eyes is super delicate and tends to age the fastest. Especially if you're living a life where you're smiling and you get those bird's feet. I actually love it. I think it looks really nice and distinguished. After that, I go in and I layer retinol. This is by My Ingredients. This is retinol with squalane. And then I've got my Anua niacinamide, and I layer this together. So the key thing with applying serums is that we want to do some facial massage. So I actually drag this down my neck and chest into my décolleté, starting here, opening up the lymphatic system, pressing on these points, getting around the neck, right around the base of the jaw where the temporal mandibular point is. We press everything up, pull and press up, right around the nasal labial fold, especially. We pull everything up around the forehead and press up around the eyes. And you want to really put in a good amount of pressure, and this is actually more effective than using a gua sha. I've totally transformed my face by doing this facial massage every single night. The last step is locking everything in with a moisturizer. Using this Round Lab moisturizer, it does not have any scent to it. And there we have it. That is my skincare routine. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Stay golden.